For anyone who came here, 8:30. It's 8 past 8:30, and if you came here looking for blood in, League of Legends, there's an in-house going on that a lot of players from both teams are involved in, and we're waiting for that in-house to finish. As soon as that finishes, we're gonna get into the games. I'm just gonna keep the music playing and things right now until we get started, but yeah, don't think we missed the game or the hit time or anything. We're just having issues with waiting for all the players to get out of that in-house. It's taking a little longer than expected. Thank you for understanding this issue, and we're going to give you some good League of Legends. Enjoy this quality music.
Vision. Cupid hit me with precision. I wonder if you look both ways when you cross my mind. I said I'm sick of chasing. You're the one that's always running through my daydream. I can
Hello there.
see your face when I close my eyes.
Can I get a kiss? And can you make it last forever? I said I'm about to go to war. I don't know if I'ma see you again. Can I get a kiss? And can you make it last forever? I said I'm about to go to war. And I don't know if I'ma see you again.
Switch it up. I said, okay, my infatuation it translating to another form of what you call it. Oh yeah, I ain't met you, I've been looking, stopped the waiting for, I stopped the chasing like an alcoholic. You don't understand me, what the fuck do you mean? It's them rose to the cheeks, yeah, it's them dirt colored eyes. Sugar, honey, iced tea, bumblebee on the scene. Yeah, I give up my bakery to have a piece of your pie. Ugh. 20 vision. Cupid hit me with precision. I wonder if you look both ways when you cross my mind. I said I'm sick of chasing. You're the one that's always running through my daydream. I can only see your face when I close my eyes. So
Can I get a kiss? And can you make it last forever? I said I'm about to go to war. I don't know if I'ma see you again. Can I get a kiss? And can you make it last forever? I said I'm about to go to war. And I don't know if I'ma see you again.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, kings, queens, my knights, and mages, good evening. How's everyone doing tonight? My name is MannyOrSonny. I'm a caster here for the Proxy Cup, and what we have lined up for everybody tonight is some quality League of Legends. Partner is Shadow. Myself, MannyOrSonny, I'm going to be bringing the play-by-play, and koreaboo's his current name. He's went through many names on his time in the server. He used to be actually our owner until he decided to step down for some time. His mic's muted right now. He can hear me though, but he's gonna get in here and he's gonna be bringing me his top tier analysis on the minds of League of Legends players. Hello? You here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey Shadow, tell everybody what's up. You ready?
Guys, I'm a little new to this, but I'll be bringing the best that I can give you, and the analysis that I've been playing this game for 6 years.
Oh.
I can have that much experience.
Oh, there we go. That's what I like. What's your summoner name?
Stoopidshadow with 2 O.
Oh, I think I do. I still have you added? I should.
That is correct.
I guess not. Okay, I'm gonna add him real quick. I'm gonna invite him, and we're gonna get into this game. So, Shadow, since you're bringing us the analytical mind that all of us, low tier thinking League of Legends players need, have you watched any of the games for this season so far? Have you been keeping track?
Negative. I was not able to. I'm getting back into it currently. I haven't started this week.
All right, understandable. Well, welcome back. So just a quick rundown. We're just going to go down, a brief run of the standings right now. In first place, we have Astora with 7 points. They have taken 2 wins, 1 loss, and a tie. Yeet Street is right behind them with 2 wins. They played Yeet Street is actually an odd scenario because a lot of their players were affected by the Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Harvey, and they had to reschedule both of their week 2 games to week 4, so they're going to be playing a lot more games, so they're going to have less games than everybody else. So Yeet Street technically is undefeated right now, but their games are still to be played. Nonetheless, with those 2 victories they have, they are just at 6 points. Right behind them is Glacial Uprising, who's 1-0-3 with a 5-3 game record. They're at 6 points. A2O Black, who's actually our lowest ranking teams in terms of average LKS, is sitting at 1-1-2, 5 points, 4-4 game record. A2O White sitting just behind them, 5 points. They're at 4-6 for their game record, 1-2-2 for series record. Outbreak 1-1-0. They're in a similar scenario with the Harvey, 3 points, 2-2 game record. Teams in this game right here, Team SpankBank and Dyslexia Untied. However, that's the whole joke right there. Both teams are sitting at 7th and 8th respectively. Dyslexia Untied not having any wins. They're 0-3-1 with only 1 tie for the season so far, with a total game record of 1-5, 1 point. And then Team SpankBank as well. They don't have any wins or losses, just 3 ties. They're sitting at a dead even 3-3.
Well, usually with the lower leaderboard teams, they bring out strats that no one really expects. So I'm pretty interested in how this game. I do know Astora. That is my repping team, and I will put behind me as my bias.
Okay, I like that.
I know a lot of those have
All right, move on down here to spectators. And we should be getting into this right now.
I know of Yoshi as being really good players with the efficiency to not die while putting in a lot of work. So I'm interested to see how Team 2 is going to do against them.
Definitely. Let me turn you up a little bit before we start. Pick and ban's gonna be starting right now. You can hear the first ban happening of a champion, and we're about to get in some good League of Legends right here. I hear Thresh, who was the first ban. I didn't get to see that.
Pantheon.
That was Pantheon. Privileged to die at his feet. And here we are, game 1 between our 2 teams. Dyslexia Untied and Team SpankBank, 7th and 8th place. So someone is going to move up in the standings after this game. It has to happen. Like, we're gonna see. Hold on. Let me turn you up some more. Actually, let me turn this down as well because this is a tad too loud. And let me turn you up all the way.
I can also increase my mic volume too.
All right, chat. Let me know if there's a little bit better of a setup. Anyway, pick and bans have started. Kappa, Pantheon ban. That's more of a target ban, I would say. Thresh is a ban at Nahor, who, yeah, despite him not having wins on it, that is probably his best champion that I've seen him play throughout his time in this league and in houses and in his plans that he did. So taking that away from him, maybe forcing on something he's a little more uncomfortable on. The Ezreal ban. Ezreal, a lot of people don't feel he's in the best state in the meta, but Codename Bond and Dyslexia United. How do you feel Ezreal fits in the current League of Legends meta, particularly in the bot lane or the mid lane? How do you feel he fits in the game period? Because I've seen some people have been playing him as a jungler.
Yeah, that's all I've been seeing him so far in the jungle. In the bottom lane, he just gets outclassed by hyper carries like Twitch, as we see here, and Tristana. Draven is also another hyper carry that's high in the meta, and they will destroy an Ezreal, so he's not even useful as an ADC when it comes to damage output.
Yeah. But as a jungler, now what's different about that?
See, jungle Ezreal, it's a weird one. He's one of the ADCs that can survive the jungle. He's like one of the ones that can survive the most and come out with a lot of health. And with an Iceborne Gauntlet, he's able to pick off people that are over aggressive and slow them, and it's really hard to get out of a Ezreal Iceborne gank. But you can do that with other junglers, so it's just one of those things where it works, but you could have done it better with something else.
So it's very skill reliant, because if you're going to want to apply this Iceborne, you're going to have to land those Qs.
Right. But it does help late game where you have a lot more damage output with poke and just DPS wise.
Yeah.
Tanks late game can get DPS by like these hyper carries and just get absolutely ravished.
Okay, because I was going to say, I remember Jungle Ezreal, I believe it was Velocity Esports a long, long time ago. I feel like most people won't recognize any of those names. Vile Rose, Echo, Maple Street. So those guys, they ran a Jungle Ezreal comp to get into LCS for one of their plans, and it was just such a different thing. So they ran their normal bottom lane setup. They ran Janna mid and the Jungle Ezreal, and they essentially had two 80 carry support duos for pushing power, and they were just able to outpush, I believe it was Marn is who they were playing to get in, and they just had such superior, pushing power in that early game, and they just kind of beat them through that, because also, like you said, in the late game, having a second 80 carry, who, in the case of Ezreal, has, could go his whole, what would be laning phase for any other 80 carry in the jungle and not being messed with, allows him to come out, without falling behind, because that's Ezreal's downfall. Also, though, back then, we had different jungle items. I don't know if any of the older players here remember Spirit of the Elder Lizard, which is basically a jungle item that allowed you to buy red buff.
Yeah, it was OP on Hecarim, I remember those days.
Oh, gosh, I'm going to talk about that item. But yeah, that was an item back then, so that also helped. But nonetheless, we talked about the Ezreal pick a lot, and a lot happened in Pick a Man. Cho'Gath made his way through. The Terror of the Void himself, getting picked up for Kyoshi, more than likely, maybe Brother Ropey. Twitch, however, getting picked up for Codename Bond, something I've seen him wreck children on. Hypersteric getting to slide his hands onto Janna and the Tempest. Bard getting locked in for Darth Nahor on a pocket pick for him. Korean Marksman with the Orianna, and Azir going to go toe-to-toe. The Emperor versus the Clockwork Lady. And then pick and ban that ended up happening. We had Graves, Tristana, Jinx, and Maokai fall off the table. So a lot of AD carry bans going out of the way. Really trying to attack this pool, put Juki on the back foot. But he's going to end up picking up the Caitlyn after Codename Bond locks in the Gragas for his team. And if they lock in this Jarvan, honestly, I can't tell which is going to go where between this more than likely it's the Jarvan top Cho'Gath jungle, but they might want to try, a good old switcheroo on us.
See, what I'm seeing here is the side of Dyslexia. They built a team comp that can completely shut down this Cho'Gath with the Azir wall and the John Appeal and the Gragas ult. Twitch can just completely destroy a Cho'Gath before you can even get close with all this peel. So if they're able to pull it off, that Cho'Gath can't get anywhere near, and he's just gonna completely die almost every single team fight. They're gonna need some sort of like Orianna ult or Bard ult that really puts Dyslexia in a spot where they can't peel off this Cho'Gath.
Yeah, definitely. They really pick, because normally when we see Cho'Gath, Cho'Gath has been terrorizing Summoner's Rift. For anyone that hasn't been playing, this champion is really silly. Like right now, he can be at about 5,000. He can be at like 7,000 health, and then he ults and eats your 80 carry for like 1,500 true damage, just straight up, no counterplay. They can't really do anything about it. However, Cho'Gath was first picked, which gave Dyslexia United a whole draft to build around, countering this Cho'Gath, and they did a really good job bringing in the Janna, the Gragas, the Azir, the Kled. They have so many ways to peel this Cho'Gath back. And like you said, I'm just curious. It's going to take a serious misplay, especially from Azir and Twitch. Twitch in the late game is with spray and pray, rat-tat-tat-tat, whatever type of player you want to be and call it that. What's wrong with spectator delay? Does it say NANAN for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a spectator glitch.
spectator just goes worse and worse every patch. But anyway, show must go on. Twitch is the longest range AD carry in the late game with Ultimate Popped. He has 850 units worth of range, which is 8.5 Teemo's. By the way, when Riot says units, if you want an easy comparison, Teemo's hitbox is 100 units by 100 units. So if you ever hear someone say Teemo's, that's just a simple way to... It's like the metric system, basically. So 8.5 Teemo's, incredibly far range. Azir, also an incredibly far range. And then he has, the Emperor's Divide to push that Cho'Gath back. Cho'Gath flashes over the Emperor's Divide. Janna has ulti to push him back. Cho'Gath doesn't have any other way to now keep this chase going. And now he's just sitting in the middle of a team. And the Azir Twitch in the late game is absolutely bananas, both of these champions. My only concern, though, is your two main carries are so late game focused. I feel like they're kind of lacking a mid game here, don't you think?
See, the one thing that can bring them out is this Janna, allowing them to have a safe early game into mid game. The Gragas can make some big plays, and this Kled is going to be the defining feature. If this Kled gets ahead in the top lane, then I don't think there is any way to stop Dyslexia, because this Kled will be able to roam with his ult and just make every single player in the mid lane and the jungle and the bot lane, he will just innate all of them with his roam if he's able to do it.
However, and yeah, Cho'Gath isn't really like Cho'Gath can push, but Cho'Gath can push waves no problem. But he's not exactly the best tower pusher either, so it's not like he can really capitalize off of these Kled roams. And Kled has a lot easier time roaming, like you said, with the charge compared to Cho'Gath is gonna have to use TP. So Kled it's definitely gonna come down to what happened in this top lane with these top laners, and then as an obvious result, Brother Ropey versus Soda 1 in this jungle matchup. We didn't even really talk about this, but how do you feel that plays into one another, the Jarvan versus the Gragas jungle? Because I haven't had to play with this matchup, I haven't really seen any games with it, so I don't know. I can't really picture this in my mind.
Well, see, we don't know if the Jarvan's going to go damage or tank, and so Gragas also, he mostly goes tank, but he can get some damage in there. I feel like it's an even for me, myself, as my weakest role would be jungle, so I wouldn't know too much about it. But I feel like this would be a pretty equal matchup. There isn't much that they do different. They do like they have that same type of dash gang.
Yeah, that Jarvan has the flag and drag. Gragas goes with the body slam. Yeah,
the big AOE ults, but I think Jarvan can bring more than the Gragas to the team, because the Gragas ult nowadays is extremely hard to pull off, while the Jarvan ult, there's not really a time where it can go bad unless you trap your teammate. Of course, that's hard to do.
Yeah. Also, Jarvan does have the ball delivery synergy going on with the Orianna for any sort of team fights they want to set up. But like we mentioned with Cho'Gath, they're going to have to actually get to the enemy team to do this, because they have so many disengage tools and peel back tools. And that's where I feel the big problem is going to come in for the side of Team SpankBank compared to Dyslexia Untied. I feel there's a very good draft by whoever their coach or captain is.
Right. The one scary thing is from Dyslexia is the fact that they have a lot of pushbacks. So if they don't coordinate it well, then there's going to be a lot of miscommunication where someone's throwing a skill shot, where someone's pushing it back, and one of them wastes the spell. So if they're able to communicate that, then there's no touching them. But if they all burst their pushbacks, like Azir's ult, Gragas' ult, Janna's ult, Janna's Q, if they don't stack it properly, then they're going to be in trouble. But if they do, they're going to be untouchable.
Yeah, definitely. But nonetheless, we ain't about that talking. We about that action. And this game's about to get underway right here. I want everybody who's tuned in right now to spam the chat with all their emotes and all their memes, because we're going to get ready for this quality League of Legends. Shadow, I hope you're ready for your first game, because you tuned in for a treat and an all-inclusive clown fiesta. I'm just kidding. But yeah, definitely both of these teams are looking, like I said, are going to be looking to pull out maybe their first win if they can get a 2-0 here against the other team. So we're just going to have to see how this plays out. Everybody is ready. Everyone is buying their items, minus the Orianna. And if you've joined me since the last time I said it, my name's MannyOrSonny. I'm your play-by-play caster for this game we have between what is Team SpankBank, which is the blue team, and then Dyslexia Untied, our red team. And I'm joined by koreaboo, Stoopidshadow, many names he likes to go by, and he's going to be my color caster.
Do you see this Twitch by the Doran Shield? I know it's pretty uncommon, but it's really... He's going for that passive lane, so
Yes.
with the aggressive Caitlyn and the Bard, he's really giving them the power to just push them in and take control of the dragon and any type of roaming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about this Doran Shield myself. It
Okay.
could work wonders. I feel it's too defensive when you have Ochana already.
Okay. I mean, okay, so there's that, but the way I feel, I agree with it because I realize, in my opinion, especially looking at these summoner spells, Twitch and Janna do not ever get a kill on Caitlyn and Bard, and they do not win any sort of 2v2. So I feel you realize this when you get into this and you load onto your summoner's platform, you look at the summoner spells, you're like, I'm not winning any fights. What I need to do is I just need to out-farm or stay even with her, and I'm going to outscale Caitlyn, because Twitch has a lot better late game than Caitlyn does. Twitch becomes so explosive with, the uncloaking from the stealth into team fights, and, opening up with the spray and pray across everybody. Twitch becomes an assassin, versus Caitlyn has to play that generic play pattern, and Twitch is just like, all right, I'm going to let her have her lane dominance and then in the mid game and late game when Caitlyn can only do the same things, I'm going to, be setting up plays for my team. So I honestly like this.
Right. This could be a fact, though, if the bot lane does pressure this and punish it, they could make some big plays. But as you said, if they do not, then it will be such a big buy.
Yeah.
Alright.
Looking at everyone else, no one else has two unconventional starts. Gragas not opting to start at the Wraith camp. Kind of interesting. I think he did. I think it might be because he knew it was warded, and you were actually going to see him getting pinged out by the enemy team as they see him crossing over. Nicely placed ward from, I believe that is the Cho'Gath or the Jarvan.
Right.
Yeah, won't. Speaking of which, Gank gonna go off right here. Yeah, gonna land the knockup. Flag and Drag gonna come in right here. Kled gonna be forced off a Scarl, and now he's gonna be red buff slowed, and it's gonna look really dangerous for him. He's gonna have to pop his flash when he wants to get out of this alive, which he's gonna do really late, trying to bait the Gank out for the Gragas, but it's not gonna work out. It's just gonna result in him being down a summoner, and now he has to back.
That's going to be pretty huge, because this is, as I said, this is the main focus for them to get ahead. If this Kled's ahead, everyone's ahead. Especially with the passive bot lane. They're going to need this Kled to get ahead, so... And this Jarvan staying here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jarvan...
Off.
Oh my, he gets the knockup, and this just... Kled is knocked off a Scarl right here. Greg's going with the body slam, but Jarvan's going to get really low for this. They need to be careful because they're fighting in a minion wave. Although the blue minions did end up taking advantage of it, so the red team actually has to back off because now Kled has to back again. Jarvan's going to back, that's fine, but this is one of the most tilting things in the league. Jarvan recalling on a ward is going to have to be forced into another bush. And now Azir's making his way up. Orianna, I haven't seen her ping this or anything. They might be able to catch Cho'Gath off guard right here if Azir can land a nice Shurima shuffle. Doesn't even have level 6, disregard.
Not level 6, but he'll be safe here. This Kled is a little behind, but he can still make it through. The Jarvan flash being down, which is gonna hurt his ganks a little bit, but he's pretty okay with his EQ.
Yeah.
Flag and drag. Like coming up with his passive soon. Might be able to make a play here, especially with Cho'Gath Banana. Oh.
And there we go. First blood, just like that. Murder, she wrote. Kled taking that kill. And that's with him being down the summoners and getting ganked 2 times in a row. He's still able to come out with that kill on top of Cho'Gath. That's not something that should be happening.
Bot lane pushing up this Twitch, and he's getting the pressure. He's gonna be having some trouble farming under this turret. If John is able to help him, he'll be good.
Yeah. Kled gonna go back. Should be picking up his Tiamat right here. He is. So this is gonna be his first. This is gonna be his first early game power spike against the Cho'Gath, who was only able to go back and pick up a Ruby Crystal and some 2 health potions. So Kled's gonna have the trading power as well as the pushing power. Although Cho'Gath actually pushed the wave unintentionally a lot of the time when he's trying to go for poke or when or when he's trying to trade against you, since you know his Vorpal spikes go through the minions.
Right. But he can time it now. It's inactive, so he doesn't have to Vorpal strike through. So that's mostly on his part, pushing the wave. He has more control of it since this new update.
Yeah.
But it does do a lot more damage. So yeah, it does push the lane a lot.
Yeah. All right. Chat was telling me to turn you up. Speak a little bit.
Hello, hello.
Okay. Hopefully that's good enough for Twitch chat. If not, I'm just gonna give up on it. But yeah. Yeah, Cho'Gath now, they're going to stay pretty even in CS, I feel like, for the rest of this. Everyone, mid and top are even, minus, you know, the kill differential. We do have, in the bottom lane, we have Caitlyn with about a 10 CS lead, which is expected of this matchup. Caitlyn, you know, dominates pretty much everyone in the early game. Twitch trying to trade right here. When he's really low, he cannot win this in terms of health. We're going to have Bard going for the flash forward lane with a beautiful Q, and this might be his demise right here. The perfect timing on the stealth cloak. Holy cannoli.
That must be so tilting for the Caitlyn.
Oh my
Twitch must be
gosh.
feeling really good right now, being able to survive and keep himself in this lane.
Yeah, Twitch, that is huge because now everyone has flash down after this trade. Bard burned his Ignite in an earlier trade that it seems like we missed. But Jen still has her Exhaust, which is pretty huge. Caitlyn has her heal. But yeah, Twitch living is huge in this, you know, because he 100%, it looked like he was going to die right there.
Yes. Q coming in right at the end, saved by the bell. Mid lane's been pretty quiet with the farm being around equal, which is understandable of these two matchups being very long range and not really having to ever be in threat range of each other. The only like ability for them to way for them to even hurt each other is a jungler coming in with a gank, which it looks like Jarvan may be doing soon once he hits 6.
My apology, I had to scratch my apologies. And yeah, Twitch is able to go back and pick up his BF source, so he's going to keep even with Caitlyn in terms of the AD arms race. And that's honestly all he needs to do, right? Is just keep even with this Caitlyn. Because if he's even, he's winning because he's going to come out ahead in the long run. Caitlyn, on the other hand, her and Bard need to find a way. And Clay's going to turn this around right here. He's going to go forward with the bear trap, and he's going to pull Cho'Gath back. He's going to get this kill. But now the question is, can he make it out?
That flash was a nice flash.
Oh my god. Oh, Orion's gonna get this pull in right here. Nice. Azir's gonna push her in a tower. She's gonna have the flash right here, go for the outplay, and now she's gonna throw out the Audio's clockwork windup. Gonna result. That's gonna be 2 kills across the map. We might see a third one here. Greg is gonna push Jarvan as far away as he can. Red buff gonna slow him, and he just needs to land the flag. Oh my god.
No.
He's gonna go for the dive. He's gonna go for the dive. He's gonna throw out the Q.
He got it.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So we got a lot of kills across this map. The mid lane and top lane being completely empty. I would like to see push from Jarvan to deny some CS from his Kled. But since the mid is also having the Azir's CS denied, it's going to put a little hit on him.
Little shenanigans trying to start up in the bot lane, but Bard just can use that ulti, you know, stop anything from the Kled. It's going to be down the TP now compared to Cho'Gath, but Kled will still have the ulti if he wants to make plays towards the mid lane, so we're definitely going to have to watch out for that, especially him now being up 2-1.
The item, the one that speeds you up as a tank, I do not
Righteous
know the
Glory.
name off the top of my head right now. Yeah, Righteous Glory. That builds out of Glacial Shroud and Crystalline Bracer.
Yes. That is what it looks like. That's what Cho'Gath is building first.
He's going for that item to get those far alts, but how many stacks does he have too? I don't think that's enough for right now. I think he's a little behind on those. It might be my mistake, but I'm pretty sure Cho'Gath should have around 3 or 4 right now. It's gonna put him behind.
Yeah, definitely. That's the thing he's gonna have to watch out for. I think it's because this might just be my experience in solo queue since it's a lot different, but a lot of the times Cho'Gath can get his first stack right just off of a kill, because people underestimate his level 6, potential, and then he just gets it off of minions. But it seems like from that kill, because he died just around level 6, right? So that puts him behind.
Right.
And then the fact that Cho'Gath ulti doesn't get a reduced cooldown on minions anymore, he has to wait a long time. But while I'm talking about that, blue team going to be taking control of Dragon, so Cho'Gath may be toughing it out on the top side, but blue team now is going to be moving a little bit faster around the map with this Cloud Dragon.
That's gonna be a big hit to Dyslexia, actually. With that Windrake, they could have used it towards the roams with the Kled. Now they're able to possibly match the roams of this Kled and put a stop to any power he's gonna bring across the map. It's not that big of a difference, but it still helps. So you're picking up the Drake Seal.
This fight gonna go getting really low around here. We're definitely gonna see more people dying right here as Gragas re-engages. Gonna have the point blank range Caitlyn ulti. That's gonna be a double kill for Bard's bloodthirsty support Darth Nahor, picking it up right there. And now we're gonna charge! Cled's gonna find his way in right here. He's gonna go into Orianna, and this is gonna be definitely a dead Clockwork Lady right here. They're gonna close in right here. She's gonna try and pull Azir back. She's gonna throw the shield onto herself, but Azir's gonna bring these soldiers forward, and Fat Rat is gonna pick up that kill, sitting himself at a nice 3-1 now.
This is huge. We're starting to see this roam. It's gonna be happening every 160 seconds with the cooldown of his ult. Every time it's up, he's gonna be coming mid. Orianna needs to ward deep to see when these come in, or Cho'Gath needs to match it somehow, because he's not going to be able to push it.
Yeah.
He has teleport still up. He could have, he could use these to match the roams from Kled, and possibly put it into Kled's tyranny.
Yeah, tyranny. I like that word because Kled's gonna be, the person that can hold this team over. Because Kled's going to be on the split push, the 4-1, it looks like, is what this team is going to be running. Kled in the mid game can be the person, going around the map, being tyranny, as you said, words.
Yeah.
Keeping this Cho'Gath occupied, and that can give his team enough time to stall so this Azir and Twitch can get online. Because Azir takes really long to scale up. Azir, needs till about 30 minutes, it feels like.
Right, he's one of those really weak champions early, as with this Twitch. But they're just waiting for this late game.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing much of the Gragas. I would like to see him more of in the bot lane or in the mid lane, making a lot more plays. But he's doing decent in his farm.
Honestly, I'd rather just see him keep going top lane, right? Because the thing is, you said his farm's decent. I disagree because Jarvan has the exact same farm, but Jarvan has participated in 80% of his team's kills. So I feel like Gragas isn't doing enough. I feel like we're gonna see the swap coming out from the red team. What generally happens, something we see happen often. Swapping your bot lane if you guys are in the weak lane. Or hold up, gonna have this coming in right here, high speed Bard right here. Bear Trap gonna try and stun up the Bard. Gonna get the slow with the Q right here. And he's just going to keep the chase up. Caitlyn going to go forward with the 50 cal net and just going to put a lot of damage, force him out of that lane. But, yeah. What was I talking about?
The farming. The thing about he has the decent farm, but the problem is the way that jungle works now is you can be having 12 farm be behind so many levels, and if you're behind levels and you farm the jungle, you'll get that catch-up XP, which is completely broken right now.
Catch-up EXP, definitely. Riot needs to find a way to fix that because it almost, allows a lot of bad jungle pathing to go, unpunished. Oh, hold up. Right here, Jarvan is getting the straight-up kill onto our girl Janet, catching her out right here. Caitlyn getting the ulti on the Kled as he's going to go into a bear trap. He's going to dismount at the perfect time, actually. It's not going to matter, though. It's still going to have a lot of damage. Azir coming in with those soldiers, going to push Orianna back into the team, and now it's Gragas versus Orianna. She's going to end up getting blasted away, flashing forward. Azir doing everything in his power for his team right here. Caitlyn going to stay alive by the hairs of her chinny chin chin. And that's going to be a 3-for-1 across the map. And now blue team, with the numbers advantage, is going to be looking to take this top lane tower.
A very messy fight with Twitch being not in the top lane or in the fight. I'd like to see more like rotations and positioning of this Twitch, because he is a powerhouse. He has a BF sword that's a lot of damage, especially with the Johnny, which will give him an extra BF sword. He's able to put out a lot more damage than this Caitlyn can with his ultimate up.
So
I like more fights.
okay, two things I want to talk about when you brought up this bot lane. So Janna, maybe maybe my image files got messed up, but that does not look like an ardent sensor for Janna's first item.
Yeah.
With 2 attack speed, 3 you can make an argument for attack speed focused champions. That just seems like it becomes even more cost effective for Janna to be building that item as her first item, I feel like that is definitely a mistake. Rift Herald going to be ramming her head in right here, setting up the blue team to pick up a 3rd tower, and they're just going to keep going forward with this mid game they have going for them. Caitlyn sieging down these towers, Rift Herald pushing in the lanes. Red team needs time, but they're not going to get it right here. Jarvan's going to start the fight up, getting in with the Cataclysm, and they're immediately going to take down one person. Although Azir's going to go back and get the kill on the Jarvan, and now we find Kled in the middle of the team, not knowing who he wants to focus on to, no one having his back. He's going to have to back out of this, and they're just going to go for a 1-for-1, a little overzealous from the side of Team SpankBank. And now they're going to have to regroup and recommunicate. Doesn't look like they can push this tower as they initially intended.
I don't know if you noticed this, but that Jarvan did a really good job of keeping that Twitch unable to do any damage throughout the whole fight. He was consistently ulting him and flagging him, even when he was dying under that tower.
Yeah, definitely.
Good job, Jarvan.
Yeah, in later fights, it's going to become a lot more prevalent when they realize how much DPS they're missing out on from the Twitch, not being able to put it out. And then when it also as team, they need to play more forward in a situation like that and take the fight to the enemy team. I feel like they weren't playing as aggressively as as their jungler was with that, and that results in them only having a 1-for-1. But yeah, back to what I was saying, Janna definitely should have built the Ardent Center first item. And then also, we've seen this occasionally pop up with teams. So, excuse me. But we've seen people do this where the support will, if it's such a bad matchup, I saw someone do it last week on one of my games I casted, or the week before that, I can't remember who. But they ran heal on the support Janna, who was running the Ardent Sensor and, the wind speakers, because wind speakers is affected by, or heal is affected by wind speakers, fun fact. And then also, Twitch ran the barrier, so they have the 2 defensive summoners in the bottom lane, and it just allowed them to play so safe that there was literally no way they could have died in lane.
I've seen that strat before. It came out like I think a year or 6 months ago. It was a Soroka build from the start where you use that extra healing percentages.
Well, Orianna going to get him real low, and that's going to be a solo kill for a Rampage for the Korean marksman.
And just the healing is insane, especially when you want to take heal, which increases your heal from all those things. So it only makes sense, but you are lacking an ignite that could be damage potential, or an exhaust that can shut down any damage.
Yeah. But, I mean, in this team, there's not really a backline assassin that you have to worry about. And again, like we mentioned, this team has a lot of disengaged tools. Like, the only person they really have to... Jarvan and Cho'Gath are going to be the dive buddies. Cho'Gath has true damage. Exhaust doesn't work on true damage. And Jarvan isn't... maybe he's building damage items now, but Jarvan's damage is going to become, negligible eventually, I feel like. Because he has this warrior. Maybe he'll build a black cleaver after this, but... he's not going to, one-shotting kids. That's not how Jarvan's, style, unless he's horrendously fed.
Right. Janna could just shut him down. Oh!
Yeah, we go tight. Going to be starting up again under this tower right here. Same old shit, just a different day. We're going to have Kled going now after he's already lost his AD carry. But this fight's already lost once you lose this. Troy is going to be going forward. Just going to immediately eat up the Gragas. And now they're still trying to fight this. Going to have 3 people getting pulled in by this ulti. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody's going to fall. Jarvan going to be the only person that the side of Team SpankBank loses, and this is going to result in them having a 5-for-1 fight, and they're going to be pushing down the mid lane looking to get this inhib and bust open the base at 20 minutes.
It may show in the scores that this Orianna is being the MVP, but through the underlying frameworks, you can see that Jarvan is really the MVP of this team. The engages are insane, with him never missing a flag and drag, and just consistently being pressure for the carries. if there was an MVP award for this game, that would have to go to this Jarvan.
Well, we can talk about an MVP at the end of the series once we see the final result, depending on which team it's in favor of. But yeah, Jarvan definitely his zoning has been immaculate. This Twitch and his team doesn't. I'm just really surprised because I feel like they have so many tools, right? Like to help keep this Jarvan off of this Twitch. Like I get when he's jumping onto him with the Cataclysm, he cannot be this. He can't be what's the word? He can't be disabled. But besides that, you know, you have the Azir ulti. You have so much damage that I feel like with how far ahead he's jumping by himself in some of these fights, if everybody just stops and turns on Jarvan, you can just kill him.
Right. I just feel like they're not using their tools.
Yeah.
Exhaust is still up on Janna. It could be used to just completely shut down the Jarvan from doing any damage that he could have been doing. Which the Orion is doing most of the damage, but it still helps a little bit. I'm pretty sure that it would be best for the Gragas to ult as soon as the Jarvan comes in. He'll completely gate it.
Well, actually, Jarvan still stays in the ulti. He doesn't get knocked out of Cataclysm.
Isn't there a disable for if you hit someone to a wall with the Gragas ult, or is that only for the Lee Sin?
I think that's only for Lee Sin.
Right, okay.
But Azir still has ulti though, I believe. If maybe someone that's seen the interaction, what happens if Azir pushes somebody into the wall of Cataclysm? Does it have that like derpy mechanic where it just kind of bounces them back and forth between the walls, or will it push Jarvan out of Cataclysm? Because regardless of which is the result, I feel like that needs to be the strategy. Because if Jarvan has, you know, the bounce back and forth, he can't do anything because he's, you know, in the air. If he gets knocked out of his Cataclysm, then you're good. Twitch now actually has his own safe space, you know, in the fight with that Cataclysm that he has no Jarvan to worry about. And he has those 3 or so seconds that he can just pound away at anybody, and now no one can get to him.
Right, I think the Azir pushes him out, if I remember correctly. And if it does not push out, I'm pretty sure if it bounces him back and forth that the Jarvan will stop his ult. So
yeah,
it brings the same result every time.
Baron with his nice old world skin right here is going to end up getting slain at 23 minutes, just about. Blue team going to take that with absolutely no contest from the red team. I don't even know if they know that happened, honestly. They didn't have any wards or anything. The closest thing was in the top lane Tri-Bush. So we're going to see that going down, and no Cho'Gath on this bottom side. They're just going to set his team up for their 7th tower of the game right here. Going to look to get this bot lane inner tower. Azir doing his best to clear the waves, but Azir just isn't in that position right now. He needs more time to scale.
Greg is going full tank with that Knight's Vow. He's being a support, so right now they have 2 supports, and this Azir really doesn't have any damage. And they're waiting for this Twitch to really get their IE to be able to put out any damage. Right now, they're relying on the Kled to do most of the damage, which it's hard for him in these matchups to get up close.
Do you think at this point, right, because of how aggressive, like, I see it right here, Jarvan, I think he's going to be looking to start fight. He's going to get the ball put on right here. Gragas with defensive body slam, and now we're going to have Kled going forward right here. They're going to knock the choke at the end of the fight. This is definitely going to be a fight that they might want to take. Orianna get the 2-man ulti. Kyoshi getting the kill on Janet on the way out right here. And now that's one person already down, but the thing is, are they going to keep this fight going? Pay attention to the fact Azir does still have his ultimate. He is correct. Everyone else burned it, but Azir's still sitting here, and he has the flash. He needs to just back off, honestly. Bard going to be walking forward right here, throwing out the damage. Going to look to stun him up right here, and this might just be him going down. It is. That's going to be Juki on a killing spree. And they're looking to pick up the second inhib, and then, honestly, they're looking to pick up the game right here. Janna's going to be coming up in 6 seconds, but there's just no damage, right? Like, they're just so far behind, it feels like.
It's over. They won.
It's all over.
Back from this.
Yeah. Excuse me. It looks like you're right. And here, at about 25 minutes, it looks like it's going to be the game. They're going to try and go for the dive right here, trying to pad their KDA, but it's going to do the opposite. Cho'Gath going to die to the tower. And Brother Ropey going to lead the game. Not sure if we have any rules on that, so I can't really say anything other than, you know, that goes against customs and courtesies. But nonetheless, 25 minutes just about. This game's going to finish up 13.5k gold differential, 17-7 in terms of kills, 10-0, not a single tower being lost for the side of Team SpankBank. And this is going to be a real good big confidence booster going into this next game. They secure themselves at least 1 point in terms of total standings. Now they're going to see if they can pick up those other 2 by winning game 2.
So the comp was won by Dyslexia. They had all the moving pieces with the Kled being fed and being able to roam and putting out those roams, but they weren't able to pull it out when it came into the terms of team fights. They're going to be needing to pull out a team comp that's not so reliant on team fights and be able to like split the map with either a split pusher or some sort of poke comp or 1-3-1 comp, because it doesn't seem that they can win in team fights if they give Team SpankBank the dive that they did so well on this game.
I agree 100%. I'm gonna look to get invites into the second lobby. I'm gonna update this overlay so that way, let me actually change the color to black so that way you can actually read it. Can you not read that either? Darn. Okay, how about this? This will work. Let me know if they invite you to the second lobby so we can get into it. But yeah, the Twitch just wasn't able to get online. Some itemization errors, I feel like. Did you know Twitch built a Runan's first item? Yeah.
That is correct, with pieces for the IE.
Yeah, which is weird because he started the IE. He bought the BF sword first, but then he went for the Runans.
He was going for the wave clear, which he wasn't able to wave clear because of the dives, and was just completely shut down under the tower.
Which I get, I suppose, but it just, I don't know. I disagree with this build choice.
I also.
But hey, you know. And then the Janna not getting the Ardent Sensor first, I already talked about that.
She got it at the end of the game, which is not preferable in the situation there. The Rylai is coming out from the Azir. He may still buy that, but I remember they nerfed it to the fact that it's one of those early buys, and I don't think it will give him that much value when it comes to the dive and when people are getting on you without needing to be slowed. Other than that, the builds were pretty decent. Maybe the Greg is not going for Knight's Vow since his ADC wasn't doing too well in terms of damage.
Definitely. Gonna wait for these teams to all get back into this lobby as they send out the invites. But so what do you want to see change going into this next game?
The next game, as I said, they need to switch up the team comp, because from what I'm seeing, they're not working together as a team, calling ultimates and just peeling for each other, because that Azir at the last fight didn't use his ultimate once to save the Twitch while the Jarvan was on him, and he was right beside him. If they can play more solo focused, but still play as a team, I think they can pull it out and come out victorious.
Definitely. Gonna wait, like I said, waiting for these invites to go out. Some other things we can talk about. I'm gonna pull up op.gg so we can look at some of the statistics in terms of player damage done to champions, towers, things like that.
Hypersteric is a Braum player. I'm not sure, was Braum banned?
From Hypersteric?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Braum was banned. If they're able to use that Braum, I think he can do a lot more than Janna. Janna is strong right now, but if you're not getting Ardent Sensor, I don't think there's a purpose really in taking her other than having a passive lane. I think they need to be more aggressive in the bot lane and have more pressure than just the top lane. Because the jungler on the side of SpankBank putting pressure. Bottom lane was putting pressure. Mid lane was even, and the top lane was the one losing pressure. That's only one side from Dyslexia, having pressure. So they're just completely in shambles if that Kled wasn't able to bring it everywhere. And he tried, but it didn't work.
Definitely. Honestly, you were talking about how you felt the jungler should pass, and I didn't get to mention this at the time, but I feel like who was the jungler for Kled's team? It was Gragas, correct?
That is correct.
I feel like he should have. You were saying you felt he should, went to the other lanes help. Now I feel like he should just put all his eggs into that one basket, and just kept ganking the Kled and trying to put Cho'Gath further and further behind.
Especially
and
with
forcing Jarvan to force. I feel like he shouldn't have, especially forcing Jarvan to come do something, and that also prevents Jarvan from being able to help push his other lanes, because Jarvan. Yeah, I feel like Kled and Gragas have a lot easier time ganking the Cho'Gath than Jarvan does repeatedly ganking, say, the Azir or the Twitch and Janna.
Another thing that the Gragas can do for his team, coming in the next game, depending on either what champion he plays, he could be warding and setting up counter ganks, because this Jarvan is setting up pressure. The Gragas can also set up pressure, but the better way to do it is counter gank. You saw that at the start, and was able to completely save the Kled from that gank, and it was able to turn it so that the Kled was able to solo kill the Cho'Gath. So if he consistently counter gank Jarvan, he could effectively stop the Cho'Gath or whoever is being ganked, and stop the jungler. That would have been a lot more powerful than just ganking himself.
I agree. 137%. Perfect numbers. We are left side or right side. Darth Nahor. Wait for this to get underway. All the players being invited manually. Stoopidshadow, yes, let me invite you. Thank you for that. Why are there so many people? Oh, I think the teams are trying to get themselves in order. Hold up. So for first game, Team SpankBank was the blue team first game, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so they should be on the red team this time, and Dyslexia United should be, or Dyslexia Untied, as you were, should be the blue team.
If that is how the rules work, that should be happening.
Yeah, but we seem to have some confusion. Hopefully, me speaking clears things up. For this,
I think they are switching now.
Okay, yeah, I think they're just trying to get everybody in LCS order right now. Top, jungle, mid, attack, damage, carry, and then support. TS.
How do you feel about Karma? Karma used to be a big powerhouse. I'm not too sure she was ever nerfed, and she does well with the Ardent Sensor. She's also really good in these team fights and has the peel that Janna has.
Karma always catches up. I feel... I'm trying to think Karma why she felt them. It's because the poke supports as a whole fell out of the meta. Because the tank supports, like... Was it Thresh got buffs, and the rise of Thresh always results in the fall of the squishier supports. Zyra got the nerfs as well, which made people feel like, oh, all tank supports or all poke supports, aren't popping anymore.
But if the Thresh is the reason they fall, if the Thresh is banned, which I'm pretty sure they would do against the Darth Nather, him being known for his Thresh and how well he can do on that, I'm pretty sure they can bring out these supports that are not seen as much, and it's hard to deal with, especially with the Karma having the poke and the peel.
Karma brings a little bit of everything to the table, especially with those mantra. Karma fell out because she wasn't a massive Ardent user like Raka, Lulu, or Janna, but yeah, Lulu's fallen out of the meta because Lulu's gotten hit hard. Soraka is just too passive in the early game. Soraka's incredibly one-dimensional, and especially it was also, Executioner's Calling being made an 800 gold item pretty much made Soraka, impossible. And then Janna will always find her way into the meta. It doesn't matter what we try and do to her. We just have to accept it. She's been played, she's season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's looking like 7 worlds.
maybe her new rework will change what's happening with Janna being played all the time. Who knows?
Janna's gonna join Rise and Skarner. Honestly, I feel like
with the many reworks.
those champions that Riot, I think she's gonna be one of those champions Riot just can't balance. Cause like, what do you do to Janna, right? Without making like, on paper, this champion, you can't do anything to shielding / healing items without Janna abusing it. Because Janna just has the ability to get around. She also has the fact to she can get around the map so quickly. That's Janna's identity, you know. Janna, you know, the Tempest has the power of the wind, the storm. In pro play, she's so nice with how good she is at covering the map in wards, getting up to mid lane to help them out with some wards, and getting back to bot to shield her AD carrying her tower. In team fights, her ulti being able to completely disengage, her Qs being able to stop anyone that doesn't have, you know, cannot be disabled like Jarvan.
It's an Ezreal pick on the side of SpankBank.
Ooh, is Dyslexia gonna run this? Dyslexia, is it looking? It's looking like they're gonna be running this jungle Ezreal that we were talking about in our previous game, unless Codename Bond wants to run it in the bot lane. But like we talked about it earlier about the reason about how it's just not favorable down there. So there's more than likely gonna be that jungle Ezreal.
I know this Gnar pick is a very preferable pick for the Kyoshi. He could bring some insane ultimates that could turn the whole fight around, especially just like that Jarvan. He was able to turn the whole fight around with a little bit of CC. This Gnar having a lot of CC could potentially win the game on his own. Morgana. I haven't seen Morgana in a while. This could be a lot of pick potential also.
That's also an enabler for the Gnar, because you know the black shield on the Gnar allows him to dive into that backline without having to worry about getting knocked up by Janna or knocked away from her ulti, or Nami, which it looks like it's going to get locked right here. Same thing, it allows him to go into that backline uninterrupted, so then he can slam them all into the wall with that Mega Gnar ulti and have some fun. But he will have to be going toe to toe with his Yordle brother Kled right here. It looks like very scrappy lane. Very scrappy lane, these two.
Top lane goes Feast or Famine. Whoever wins will completely shut out the other one. Kled having the easier time if he gets behind compared to Dinar. Looks like a Wombo combo is coming in on the side A of SpankBank with the Orianna.
TFT jungle Ezreal should be used to round out a team, not to start out one. I don't know. I disagree, because I feel like if you're gonna pick a jungle Ezreal into a comp, you have to do a lot of things changed. Like you run a lot different than team comp. And one thing I'm already seeing shaping up here, if this ends up being a jungle Ezreal, is top lane's already been locked in. Ezreal's already the jungler. And they have the support locked in. This is a really squishy team.
I think that this will not be a jungle Ezreal. I'm pretty sure this will be a Stonebone packed Ezreal with an Iceborne Gauntlet and Ardent Censer. I hear he's an amazing abuser. I've been seeing it in the in-houses recently. A lot of players have been playing it. It's actually doing really well.
They run it in the bot lane with that?
Yeah, the support Ezreal.
A support Ezreal. But then where does this Nami go? What?
Jungle, I guess.
This is an interesting switch up from Dyslexia United. They need to, you know, obviously switch things up when you're not really sure what to do. And yeah, Shea Vizsla with the classic, when in doubt, pick Orianna. You know, never anything can go wrong with that champion. Goes good with pretty much everything. Doesn't really have any hard counters in lane. So here we are, Orianna getting locked in. Vayne, please, oh, don't do it. Oh, don't do it.
Is he gonna do it?
Oh, yeah, just lock in that Tristana, kid. Just lock in that Tristana or the Ashe. You don't lock in that Vayne. Okay.
I would like to see the Tristana over the Ashe, because this Ashe can be really weak when it comes to this Kled diving. That Tristana would have been a powerhouse in terms of peeling for herself, instead of the Ashe being at the mercy of the Kled or the Morgana having to help her. Especially with this Talon coming in, that could be a very big problem for this Ashe. Oh, Kassadin's also an assassin that can bring some pressure, but a Talon would be able to be doing this stronger.
So okay, so we're gonna have to see what this last pick is from Hypersteric, and this will hope we're pretty sure where everything's gonna fall into place. But this is League of Legends, this Prophecy Cup League of Legends at that, so anything can end up landing anywhere. So we're gonna have to see right here. 4, 3, Kane.
Led. Not much tanks on the side.
You said Kled. Kane, you mean?
Kane. Sorry. They have a Kled. I was about to say Kled is like the only tankiness, but mix up the words there. But this Kane coming out.
Kane, yeah, not the most tanky champion, and Kled not really someone that you want building full tank because he can't utilize his champion to his full potential. So yeah, definitely a really squishy team right here, meaning they won't be able to handle. They really can't go for late game team fights. So this team, Dyslexia Untied, is going for a very early mid game team comp with this right here. They need to win by like 30 minutes.
Right. The Lee Sin having that early game, with the Morgana having that pick potential, they could snowball the bot lane and the top lane and the mid lane with the Lee Sin in the top and mid and this Morgana in the bottom lane. They have pressure everywhere, which they were able to do last game. Kane, not the strongest early until he has hit his transformation.
Yes.
That's where he will get the biggest spike, so that's in the mid game. Kled being strong throughout the game, depending on if he can get fed or not. Kassadin being a very, very late game champion, like last game having the Zir and the Twitch being late game. And this is Ezreal ADC.
Yeah, this is Ezreal ADC. We're going to have to see what summoner spells and things like that as we're going to finish up this countdown. And we're going to get that Spectator delay go through. We're going to have to see if he takes that summoner configuration and summoner and itemization configuration that you were talking about you've been seeing in the in-houses, which was what again?
That was a joke.
Oh.
So that does not work unless it is support Ezreal with the healing. It is a heal build, but as an ADC Ezreal, that would be, I would feel, his weakest role right now, where he's not able to put out as much as someone say like Ashe, Tristana.
I fell for your meme, my bad. I fell for your meme. But yeah, Ezreal just... This team, well, the good thing is, Ezreal may not have damage, but everyone else has damage.
Right, but the fact is, the problem is getting to that damage point with the Kassadin, who can...
Kassadin has to snowball,
yeah,
which I don't think he'll have a problem doing, though, actually.
As a Kassadin player myself, I can tell that it's going to be a rough lane for him, because Orianna can completely shut him down, especially with the Lee Sin being one of his hardest counters as a jungler, ganking him.
Yes.
You can completely negate him. If they're able to shut him down before 6, he will be completely useless for a very long while.
We're going to have to see right here. I can't keep track of how much time we have left in Spectator, but looking at these other matchups, we have the Morgana, which we've been seeing. I haven't seen anyone ever since the Koreans started doing it. We've been seeing the Morganas. They run the Courage of the Colossus. I believe is what that's called. No, my bad. Stoneboard Pact is what it's called. They run Stoneboard Pact, Ardent Censor, because Morgana binding triggers it as well as her ulti. But then we've also seen, I think TFT mentioned it, Morgana with Wind Speakers, because her Black Shield is a black shield.
Right.
So it increases its thing, but I feel like I feel like running it with the Stoneboard Pact is a lot more effective.
Yeah, I don't think the Wind Speaker's increasing magic resist armor is going to be as useful as the other summoner spells you can, or not summoner spells, keystones that you can have.
Well, it doesn't increase. It actually is like a specific number shield amount based, but it only works on magic damage. It's weird.
Right.
Yeah, but like you said, Stoneboard Pact is still superior.
Right. The double teleport on the side of Dyslexia, pretty common on a Kassadin. He really needs it to survive lane and to get through lane. But this could be big roams that they can match the pressure that Team SpankBank has against Dyslexia right now, just from the base champions and the team comp alone.
100%. 100% agree. And now, finally, we're going to finish up the spectator light. It's going to wind down, and we're going to hop into this second game right here. And we're going to have to see what gets brought to the table from this comp from Dyslexia United. Like I said, I really feel like they're going to have to push this game hard early. Otherwise, we're going to see a similar result to the last game with the defeat screens for Dyslexia Untied. And they're going to find themselves in a really hard spot in terms of going into these final 3 games of theirs, where they're pretty much going to have to get 2-0s on all of them.
We're seeing the summoner spells for SpankBank now, or this would be Dyslexia. I'm not too sure right now.
Dyslexia is the blue team.
Okay, so we have the blue team as Dyslexia. For Team SpankBank, we can see their summoners now with the teleport, the barrier, heal, and the ignite. Pretty standard. Oriana taking the heal or the barrier. Being able to outpressure this Kassadin in terms of defensive and with the barrier. So in fights, she will be superior almost every single time until a late game phase. Or unless this Kassadin pops off. What's your opinion? Have you seen any games on Brother Opie?
Brother Opie on his Lee Sin?
Right.
I have not seen any of his Lee Sin. This will be my first time as well. That was my, I believe this is my first Team SpankBank game I casted, period, actually.
So they are the mystery.
Yeah, for me, they are the mystery. This side of Dyslexia Untied, they were, what was it, Gods of the Rift before? Bond had to do something quickly. It's only important. It'll only be a minute. Beppis. And we're just going to have a pause coming in real quick. Lee Sin with very inappropriate typing in chat. And yeah, this gives a little bit more time just to, bring down the fact that TSB has already won the first game, Team SpankBank. So they're already giving themselves a much needed, they're guaranteed at least a tie, right?
Right.
But really, we really need to see them we really want to see them pick a win, but at the same time, we need Dyslexia Untied to win themselves. we really need to see them tie this up, and we really need to see them win their other 3 games after this if they want to have a chance at getting that 6th seed and qualifying for the playoffs. And they're going to have to change a lot in maybe the way they do pick and ban or play as teams, because this team is just too feast or famine that they have drafted.
The team comps rely too much on one part.
Mm-hmm. They need to have more overarching team comps that have, plan A's, plan B's.
More general and default. One that can win, like an Oriana is a default, a bait, something that will always do decent, and it's never feast or famine.
5-man grouping up here. Morgana going to go for this classic. Going to have the danger ping coming in right here. They sense it out right here. They can smell this fallen angel as she creeps her way. Going to drop the ward and get seen out. Going to try and attack it, but that's just going to let them know they need to retreat, and this isn't the time for them. Blue team going to look for them trying to go to the top side, but it's not going to work. Red team's not even going to bother. They're just going to go back to their jungle, and Nar's probably going to start up his recall so we can get back to the top lane in time. But yeah, good attempt from them right there.
This game we will see if this Lee Sin is able to outmatch the gank potential or the mobility of the Kane. We will see if he's enemy team Lee Sin or our team Lee Sin.
Give me a moment. It's incredibly cold in my room.
Pretty slow start with the Kled up in the top bush. Could get some poke damage on this Gnar when he comes into lane.
Even the patience of a god has limits.
Both junglers starting on the bottom sides, which will give them a route to get into top or mid. Both bot lanes free from jungler ganks at this time. Mid lane, the Kassadin's getting pushed in. This is one of the Kassadin's worst nightmares until he's hit level 2. He's not able to farm under tower at all. Mic muted.
Thank you very much. I was talking this whole time. Trying to talk about something. I almost felt kind of offended. I'm like, wow, he just cut me off. That was rude. But I was one thing I talked about while I was muted was the Kayn into Lee Sin, because in everyone's mind, Lee Sin has always been the tanky support, DPS, range, melee, assassin, jungler who excels at everything. And then comes along Kayn, the guy who beats him in pretty much every stat in the early game. And as we talk about that, we're going to have Lee Sin trying to creep his way in right here to a wolf camp that's gone. So he's just going to slap some wards, catch Kayn on his invades, which is, I think, pretty good. Because it lets them see, you always want to... Someone that counter jungles and goes and ganks as much as Kayn, you always want to keep a track of, right?
Right. You want to always keep track of mobility junglers. Although it's hard, it's the weakest. It's their weakness being tracked.
Yes, because Kayn... You're not going to... Oh, hold up. We mentioned this. We're going to look on the bot lane. Nami going to get real low right here. She's going to go down first blood for the Morgana. And now Ashe is going to sidestep that Mystic shot. And that's going to be a kill right there for the side. So, yeah. Codename Bond and his team already off to not the best start. Now Korean Marksman going right here. Can he land the Q? He's going to land it. Going to go in. Going to try and flash away. Not the best timing. Now he's going to flash on the tower right here. Going to take it real low. He's going to go down. This might be a double kill. Orianna is going to take a shot. Disregard that. She doesn't. But, yeah, Cassin going 1 for 1 under tower. Brother Ropey going a little bit too hard. And now that's a misplay.
It's a teleport from the Kassadin. Kassadin's gonna have a hard time. Even though that the Lee Sin got the kill and Kassadin got it, Lee Sin's able to put more pressure with the damage he's able to buy and the consistent ganks. If he consistently ganks, then he's able to put more damage and pressure than a Kassadin getting a few kills.
Again, is Ezreal going to go down here? He's going to pop his heal. That's going to be a second kill for the Morgana. Now Kayn coming in from behind, trying to fight, but they're fighting in a minion wave. You can't fight this. That was like, hold up. No, I'm not going to let this. I'm not going to let this go unpunished. I'm going to rewind this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold up, let me stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minions. One of them being a cannon minion. We have 2 melees, 5 casters.
Hey, bro, can I just get 2, please?
It's Morgana putting in the strength that
That's
she
something
always
you don't fight. That's bananas. I apologize, I cut you off. Go ahead.
Pick here and a big strength in this bot lane. Now that she's enabled and has this AP like with the blasting wand, she's able to almost insta kill any player in the bot lane with just landing 1 Q. They have to play really safe, especially as a Nami with no really way to escape or dodge that well.
Yeah. Like Nami says it herself, you gotta try not to get your feet wet, because if you get your feet wet in one of these dark puddles that Morgana makes, you're gonna end up dying, because as we've seen, they have no problem out DPSing them in terms of their fight potential, because Ezreal just kind of doesn't do more damage than Ashe. Nami definitely doesn't do more damage than Morgana, and then if the jungler comes down, the Kayn doesn't have enough damage to overturn the deficit that his bot lane has in terms of trading potential. So he's really... Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish.
I was just going to talk about Kayn as well. His Kassadin's behind too now, in terms of the fact he's getting pushed in over and over by this Orianna. And he's really, in a tough position to where the only thing Kayn can really do at this point is Kayn's just going to have to counter jungle like a motherfucker. Excuse my language. But then that's so predictable that they just kind of have to ward the entrances, because their team can predict that's what Kayn's going to do. So, like, what does Kayn do?
Kayn can't do much until he hits his transformation, because he does not really have any type of CC except for the slow MW. If he's able to be seen and warded out... Nice
binding, level 3. Gonna get real low right here. Gonna go down again. Juki picking up the kill this time. Now that puts him at 1-0-3. Morgana is definitely the carry in this lane, sitting at 3-0-1. Holy cannoli.
previously I was about to ask what the Keystone Mastery was for this Morgana, but I could tell that this was going to be a Thunderlord's. That's an extreme amount of damage coming from the Morgana, especially being 2 levels ahead over this Nami, and able to just completely shut her down. When your support is shut down, the ADC is also shut down.
And now Ezreal just kind of down here by his lonesome, trying to do his best to farm, but he can't
Sin
really.
soloing the Infernal Drake.
Is he now? Yep, he's gonna pick that up, and that's huge for his team because, like we mentioned, bot lane with a Morgana ahead, Morgana Ashe head would love to have more damage to be even more ahead. Mid lane, Orianna has the push power right now, push her more ahead. We have about a 20 CS lead for Gnar. This is starting to look like a repeat of last game, but even at a more accelerated rate. And now I feel like the side of Dyslexia United have even less late game insurance than they did on the previous team.
Current moment, this could look like a 10k gold lead for on the side of SpankBank if they're able to keep this up and just constantly pressure Team Dyslexia United.
What do they have to turn around right now before 10 minutes if they want to try and salvage this game and at least try and get themselves in an even position and then maybe take over with like a 20-minute team fight?
There has to be some sort of like de-warding or like.
Hold up, right here. Gnar gonna throw the Kled into the wall right here. Gonna pick up the solo kill, and the jungler's not even here in time for it to matter. Easy
Really?
laydown right there.
Really, this K needs to de-ward and he needs to be able to take the ganks to the lanes without being seen, or somehow counter ganking this Lee Sin that's bringing a lot of pressure, even just with his presence, not even having to even enter the lane.
Right here, just kicking away at that tower, looking like they're gonna pick up the first tower of the game, and then Rift Herald will come up right after that. I feel like they might end up staying around for it, honestly, because it's only about 20 seconds now. And if they pick that up, this is almost 100% the early game won by the red team, and blue team's just gonna have to look towards getting back for the mid game, and then late game. I'm not even gonna talk about that. But yeah, early game. I feel like it's pretty much lost at this point. Mid game is what your focus needs to be.
The bottom tower very low on the side of Team Dyslexia United. It's bottom. If that goes down and they're able to take this Rift Herald and push down mid and maybe get 1 or 2 towers, this could be a 15k, 10k gold lead, and there will be like next to no hope for Dyslexia unless they play perfectly to come back from this game. They really need to enable the Kassadin in some sort of way with roams, ganks.
Kled trying this fight again? Did he not learn before? Hold up, this doesn't look as bad, but never mind, he's gonna get dismounted right here. Gnar's gonna start this up. Onto the bot lane right here. Ashe and Morgana are gonna CC chain this Ezreal, go under tower, not even caring. Ashe actually gonna take him real low right here, but Lee Sin's here for the backup. And now they're just gonna take this on Nami. They have the tower about to die, so it doesn't even matter. That's a 2-0 clean, not clean, but pretty easy dive right there.
Taking the tower and completely pushing out this lane, possibly going for another tower. It seems they will be roaming to the mid lane and taking out the middle tower.
They're going to come from behind. Cassin's not even going to be expecting this, it looks like. We're going to try and go for this dive, or for this binding. Lee Sin going to jump across the lane, going to force the Cassin out with the Rift Walk. And they should be able to pick up this tower right here. If with the next wave. My bad. My apologies.
Yeah, it's alright. One minion, maybe one minion's able to do it if Gnar was to use his teleport, but no need to use that Thunder spell.
Yeah, one minion minding his beeswax, looks like, but blue turret is gonna get destroyed right there. A lot of missing pings coming in from the red team in that western quadrant of the jungle.
The Gnar already completing his Black Cleaver, that's a huge power spike compared to this Kled only having time at.
Yeah, that's what a kill in about 11 CS, or my bad, I'm bad at numbers, 9 CS lead is going to do for you. Not to mention his team has 3 towers to none. They're sitting on about a 6k gold lead as a team here at 12.5 minutes.
This is working in the Nar's favor because Kled's timeout is only going to push the lane, and without a tower, you're not going to want to go with someone that can duel you.
Definitely.
Top completely shut down and not able to do anything, especially with the passive not being able to activate it and it being a passive. You're going to always push that lane.
Yeah. And so Kled does have a decent CS lead over Lee Sin. That's great, but I mean, it doesn't mean anything. He's 0-0-0 as an early game oriented jungler, as he's watching his top laner get kicked around right here and then get triangulated on. Korean Marksman going to get the kill. And now Nar going to be looking to knock this man right back right here. Getting pulled him by the Oriel. That's going to be a 4-person, you know, that's going to be a 4-person friend fight right there, taking down the Kled. And now they're going to look to capitalize on this Rift Herald and use that so they can push more than likely the mid lane.
Kane being thrown around like a ragdoll, not much he can really do to escape, even though being able to walk through walls. He's just getting pushed around with all these displacements. The Rift Herald going towards Lee Sin, able to get him that back, to get that buy into his Phage and his Warrior. What do you think the Lee Sin is going to bring this Rift Herald? Do you think he's going to bring a bot lane so that they're able to get the next dragon, which would be an Earth Drake, which will help them with tower pushing?
Definitely. That's a possibility.
Or do you think they're going to open up this mid so that they can get closer to this?
They're going to open up something. Kled going to be looking to start a fight down here in the bottom lane, ulting on the Ashe, but he's just going to burn out her flash. So the flash on that Ashe is definitely, you know, going to result in some cash, hopefully in the pockets of the blue team if they have some class. And Caston, this lane, just trying to, you know, do his best to salvage farm after he got pushed around by the Orianna, doing a pretty good job getting himself back into it. But yeah, like you mentioned, red team now going to be taking this dragon without even using the Rift Herald, so then they still have that flexibility open between the top, or correction, as you were, the mid or bottom lane.
The top lane doesn't really need that opening because you want that Nard to have something to push and split push.
Yeah.
He could also go bottom lane, but
No, I think,
not gonna be coming.
yeah, I think you're right that mid or bot is where the rest of the red team needs to focus, and Nar needs to just take advantage of the fact that Kled can't out-trade him right now. He's gotten 2 solo kills pretty much on him. Both of his kills have been solo kills, yes?
Right.
No, one was a solo kill and one was right before that Rift Herald. But still, a lot going on. Morgana going to be ulting onto this Kled right here, locking him up, and now they're just going to come in from behind. Kled going to have a nice dismount timing, and he's going to be able to make it out alive. He will. But
it looks like it could be the bottom tower. Yeah, the Rift Herald being used.
he's going to call it up. Red Herald, she's going to get called out. And we're just going to watch her take down this tower, charging up. Boom! Shakalaka. That tower's gone.
Position to really assist in this team fight. This could be an opportunity for them to do something.
Ashe Arrow? Ashe Arrow? Just going to whiff. But still, that's Tenzo gone. Goodbye. I'm sorry, friend. That wasn't supposed to happen to you. You deserve better.
Is Ashe getting caught out?
Lee Sin going to come in right here. Buddy system right here. Kled Kane going into the wall. He's going to end up getting this turn. Oh, yeah, he's going to go down right there. Brother Roby slain. Soda 1. And yeah, Ashe looking like she was caught out, but her jungler coming in to save the day. That's what happens when, you know, you're 1-0-6 as an AD carry. It's shown that your team has your back, so you can kind of, you know, be out of position like that, and they'll come and save you.
Inhib being opened up, and this is chances for a team coming back from an inhib is very, very slight.
Especially a 17-minute inhib, or, you know, a 10k gold deficit at 16 minutes. Very
This
rough.
10K gold lead that I said, they're bringing the constant pressure, and they're gonna probably bring this gold lead up to 15k if they're able to continue getting these solo kills, these pickouts in the jungle, just these objectives all around. Ashe Arrow, mid lane.
The classic? Ashe Arrow down mid? And the ping, is she going to get it? Oh.
Get it?
Oh,
She got it.
she got it on Kled all the way in Fountain. That's what I like.
These heroes.
Okay, so Kane, you're gonna get that, but if you die right here, that is in no way worth.
Oh.
Wow, he just died for Scuttlecrab.
This looks like a classic case of tilt from the side of Dyslexia.
Yeah, he actually just died for Scuttlecrab. That's definitely a tilt moment right there.
Ooh, the binding.
Gonna land. They're gonna throw the rock in. Nar gonna go in as he actually gets mini Nar, and gets. Now he's gonna be on exhaustion cooldown, but still, he still does a lot of damage regardless of which form he's in, and can help enable his team for these dives.
The Ash being on 2 items complete compared to this Ezreal not even completed on his first one.
Yeah.
See the differential in the ADCs.
And this is kind of what we talked about. What happens with GG? I mean, Brother Ropey, you can't say things like that in chat, my dude. Are they just sitting in? No, I don't think they're sitting in fountain. But yeah, they're just like we were talking about that Ezreal, just kind of not the best choice for your bot lane AD carry, the weakest role we feel like.
The super minions putting a lot of pressure on this tower. Looks like
Kleb.
they're gonna go for this top tower. And
Kleb gonna look for something right here. They're gonna go defensively. Kleb gonna get dodge out on the binding, resulting in his support getting hit. Kiyoshi is now on a rampage, and Kleb finds himself getting this Orianna solo, doing his best, everything in his power. Gonna get the kick coming out from Lee Sin to disengage this fight, and now he's gonna go back in. He's gonna get a kill onto the Nar. Gonna get a kill, or as you were, Morgana's gonna get a kill onto the Kane, and now we find ourselves 3-0, 3-for-0 team fight, and they're just gonna keep it going. They're not stopping. They honestly might close this game out sub 20.
Ezreal can't do much. This game's over. This is a GG. This will be a double win on the side of Team SpankBank.
And 1922 is gonna be the game time is gonna be called 1-17. 1 kill. Wow. Report Lee Sin, no perfect game. Remember that dive he did in the early game?
Oh yeah.
Poor jungler, no perfect game. But yeah, that's really unfortunate. They're gonna go. Well, not. I mean, really unfortunate for the blue team. Red team did a great job. 17-1 in terms of kill differential. 16k gold differential in a 19.5-minute game. That is almost 1k a minute. That's bananas.
Just a very clean game for the side of Team SpankBank, having their Morgana be the most valuable player in that game.
Morgana definitely the MVP that game. First game though, we got to give that to Brother Ropey for that Jarvan. Absolutely immaculate. The curse is over.
So the standings, how will that change the standings?
How will that change the standings? I'm glad you asked the question. Well, first, let me go to continue. I'm going to pull up the advanced details just so everyone can take a look at certain things like damage and shielding done. Will that bump them up to 6th? For now, anyway? I'm not sure. I'm not the person in charge of standings. But let's look at this. Game 1, Game 2. So let's give SpankBank. Yes, that actually jumps them up to the tie for 4th we have going on right now.
4th, the tie for 4th. That's
wait, hold on. No, 3 points. No, yeah, so that jumps them up. That technically puts them in a tie with Glacial Uprising and Eat Street, who have not. When do Glacial Uprising play their games this week? Let me switch back over.
I'm not aware of that.
They play Thursday, which I'm going to be casting. Who put you? Did I put you? Did you say you wanted to cast Thursday as well?
Me, I think I may be able to.
Okay, no, because you're on the schedule. I don't remember if I did that by accident or if that was someone else that put you in. But Glacial Uprising play Astora, which is definitely going to be a good game. You should all tune in for Thursday. Astora being our #1 team right now. And then tune in Glacial Uprising versus Yeet Street, our #2 team right now. So those are 2 matches you need to watch. #3 playing #1, and then #2 playing #3, which are going to be Sunday and Thursday. Looking at our game that happened yesterday, A2O did beat Astora 2-0. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. How did that happen?
except for the casters over there and the people.
Yeah, the casters. I don't think anyone casted that yesterday. I think everyone was tasked out. Let me take a look over here at NA at match history.
So this puts them in tie for second or third, I believe you said.
This would jump them up. 6 points would jump them up to the second, third place points tie, because they haven't actually technically they haven't lost the series. They just tied. Versus a lot of other people, have losses, have won 2-2 or 1-1-2. They'll be 1-0 and 3.
Right. Okay. So they'll be in the 6 point. They'll be tied for second. They're top from the bottom to the top. Started from the bottom. Now we're here. This team could be a top 3 team and a big powerhouse. They have a lot of team play and they know how to build their comps. Whoever their coach or captain was, they were able to build really good team comps, and they are able to use the team comps that they are given and actually put them effectively.
So MVP for the series. We've talked about who are MVPs for the games, whoever MVP for the overall series. Who do you think contributed the most for their team in between those 2 games?
So we had Morgana and the Sin Jarvan. In the first game, what was their support playing again? It was the
Jetta?
No, it was not the Jenna. The Jenna was on team
Bard.
Bard, right. I would say it would have to go to the Jarvan. Just the amount of pressure he was able to put throughout the team fights without missing a skill shot, or being able to weave through all that peel, and also putting a lot of pressure as the Lee Sin. I would say it would have to be the jungler. In my
Ropey.
Brother Ropey.
Yeah. Let me see, is Ropey free? So we can drag him up here for an interview if he is. We're definitely going to bring him in here, get a little bit of conversation going on with him, because I honestly agree with Ropey. Did a great job on Lee Sin, as well as a phenomenal job on the Jarvan in the first game. The Lee Sin game.
We forgot he died on the last game. Can't be him.
You're right, man. Feeder, only 100% of his team's best, man. Numbers don't lie.
100%. 100% sacrifices for his team. Team player.
Hello?
Hello.
Greetings, Ropey. Want to say
What's up?
congrats to you and your team on your 2-0, but we dragged you up here because we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union. I'm just kidding. We, the casters of this chat room, we both agreed that we felt you were our MVP for the series.
Damn, I appreciate that.
No problem. my
You should
dude.
bring Billy up here too. Billy made some plays, man. He was
Billy?
also an MVP in the team.
I don't know you guys' gang names.
That's what's his name? Breezy B.
Breezy E. BB. Alright, let me drag him up here.
Yeah.
What up?
What is up, my dude? How are you doing?
What up, my guy? I'm doing great.
It's good to hear.
Alright, what's the question?
I don't think we got that far yet. Yeah.
Whoa, man. Yeah, we just kind of got spammed from Nahor to drag you guys up here. It looks like a console faces my great match. Okay, so my first question is, Breezy, you were the top laner?
Nah, I'm the mid.
Wait, what? Your tags are top and mid. Okay, let me change that.
Oh yeah, I used to play top for Extra Life last season.
Okay, that explains some things. I shall change your tags because that confused me. You played Orianna in the both games, or didn't you?
He just left, I think. But yeah, he did.
Played Orianna in both the games. Pretty easy thing. Where'd he go? Okay, so we.
I accidentally moved. Fuck.
Okay, so Breezy. My question is, you played Orianna in.
Yeah, what's up?
My question: you played Orianna in both of the games, and in both of the game, in the first game, it was, you know, a pretty good synergy with the Jarvan, but you went back to it in the second game when pretty much every mid laner was left untouched. Is that like a personal preference, or?
No, I just felt like Tenso was gonna pick Orianna if I didn't pick it.
So you did it just to be spiteful?
Yeah, I just wanted to steal it from him.
Oh, you heard it.
I did pretty good
Thievery
in the
right
first game.
here. Steal master. He's trying to steal better than you. You got to stop him right here. But anyway, next question is directed towards the directed towards the jungler actually. Because in the first game you
Dude, I
had.
like your selfie.
Thank you very much. But in the first game, you had some immaculate team fight presence, and the fact that you were zoning this Twitch off and, you know, and not allowing him to use that spray and pray across the team, and instead he was so focused on just trying to get you out of his face, and that resulted in team fights not going in the optimal way for Dyslexia Untied.
Yeah, thankfully we got some kills early on so I could go damage and be more of a backline threat, and then just knowing how our team comp is with a lot of CC. I know our Cho'Gath that game, Kyoshi, had a nice knock up on that mid tower when it was like tier 2 I think, and it set up this crazy dive. So we had a lot of CC and everybody knew how to use it.
So, this is directed towards Roby. Roby, what did you guys feel when you were going through? What was your idea of how to win this game? What did you need to take away from them? And what did you need to do yourselves to guarantee you this victory?
Just shut down the playmaking people on the team. Try to shut down the Kled top. We burnt his TP like super fast in the beginning. Unfortunately, he got like first blood, but we still kept him up top, and nobody really did anything around the map. It was like no rotations. We were kind of free reign to do what we want. So we just kept calling out what to make TP plays on and where the fuck shit up at. It was pretty nice.
We were talking about how the Kled was their biggest strength, and we could see that you guys knew that too. It showed in your gameplay, and you were able to capitalize on that weak spot that they had, which should have been their strength.
Thank you. I'm glad you see the way we were trying to figure the game out too.
Are you actually Korean?
Not one bit.
Whoa, hold on.
Whoa, you're a fake Korean? What?
Whoa.
Jeez.
Play.
I might. Let's see. /ban. I'm just kidding.
Gotta
But-
put the toxic tag on him now.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't really have any other question for you guys. Then, is there anything you guys want to ask of us, or you want to shout out? You know, shout outs to your mom or your teammates, blah blah blah.
Dude,
Yeah,
always
the
shout
Twitter.
out to my mom. To the
Yeah,
Twitter.
Twitter.
Do you have Twitter? You know, if you want to follow you and watch your sick
you
career
got a Twitter?
plays. Me, I do. It's @MannyOrSonny.
Yeah, you gonna follow me?
That's something we discuss offline. I'll slide in those DMs any other time. But
Oh man.
besides that,
Damn, you're hella saucy. What the fuck?
all right, I want you to calm down out here. But seriously, anything you guys want to ask us, or you know, for the council, the casters, things like that.
I've only been back for a few games, but man, when it comes to playoff time, people better be fucking ready.
Oh,
get it.
there we go. The playoff threat.
I have one question for you guys. Who is your arch enemy or whatever? The team that you want to beat. And
Who is your anime partner?
I've only played fucking 3 games now, or 3 series, but fucking, or no, 2. But Glacial Uprising, gotta show Dizzy that Baron Smite accident was not fucking any luck.
or the big hype for the Glacial versus SpankBank.
Until next time.
Can't wait.
All right. Well, anyway, once again, congrats on the 2-0. I'm gonna drag you guys back down with your team so you can talk about team stuff, and we're gonna get ready to close this out for the night.
Thank you.
I followed you.
All right, so there we go. Yeah, but clean 2-0 from them. Dyslexia Untied. Really unfortunate. They're gonna have to. They need to find some sort of battle rhythm for themselves, because that's not the play right there. Being down, still having only one tie. They've gotten one game win. This brings them to 1-7 in overall record.
Is there a way that they can come back Dyslexia if they win all their games?
Let's see.
If they to make it through?
Outbreak. Well, oh, that's actually interesting. Dyslexia has to 2-0 Outbreak later this week if they want that to happen. Outbreak is going to have to lose to Yeet Street 2-0. And then going into the last week, Outbreak's going to have to lose to Glacial Uprising. Outbreak's going to have to lose everything from this point out. Is an obvious one.
It takes Outbreak ending for the
Well,
team of Dyslexia.
okay, so Dyslexia has one. They're in control of their own fate because they play them once.
Right.
And then they play Yeet Street. And we've seen how dominant Yeet Street has been this season, so we're going to have to see if Outbreak, if they have anything, anything in their pocket for them.
So it is plausible for Team Dyslexia.
Yes. Anything's possible with a little bit of magic. You just got to make one wish, just like in Madoka Magica. Alright, but besides that, yes, so we're going to have to see how these playoffs shape out. Once again, here are the standings again. These are not updated. These will be updated by tomorrow. Real quick, I wanted to mention this. So the casters, we had a meeting earlier, and moving forward from this game onward, all games, that's right, I said all, 136% of our games are going to get uploaded on our YouTube channel. What's our YouTube channel, you ask? youtube.com/prophecycup. youtube.com/ hold up, wait a minute. Hold up, wait a minute. Did I put it in wrong? Is direct linking something only certain people get for YouTube?
For YouTube?
Yeah, like being able to type in the name of your my channel. Anyway, we're gonna have a YouTube channel. We're gonna attach it to the important documents thing that we have going right now, and you'll be able to come here, watch all the VODs, things like that, and we're gonna work on sorting them into specific channels for each team. So that way, if a team wants to be like, all right, we're gonna review VOD reviews on blah 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 team, bam, real easy to review it because they'll all be in a playlist. Or we want to watch our games, bam, they're all sorted, real easy for you to do.
Alright. So we're after these 4 weeks, this is where we're gonna see the standings, and this is gonna be final, correct?
Next week, so for week 4, a lot of games have to be made up for the side of Yeet Street because, like we said, the Storm.
Sorry, your mic's cutting out a lot right now.
Hello?
Hi.
My bad. But yeah, we're gonna have a lot of games getting made up for the side of Yeet Street in the last game. They have to I think they have to play for like 3 or 4 series actually because of all the games they have to make up. Thanks to, shout out to Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Harvey.
Yeah. Well, the next game being the 24th. Or the 21st, I mean. So that's gonna be a pretty hype game.
No,
It's gonna be Store at the top and Glacial the runner-up for second.
Alright. But real quick, I want to thank you for joining me for this game. Did a real good job casting, especially with this being his first time. Round of applause. This VOD is going to be up, and you and I, we can talk offline another time. I'm going to go to bed after this, but we can talk tomorrow about this, just constructive criticisms and things like that. But I want to thank you for joining me for this cast.
Pleasure.
And then to everyone that tuned in, that watched, I want to shout out to, I want to shout out to, My friend Celia tuned in to watch this. Didn't have any idea what was going on, but you know, she still watched. Shout out to her. But yeah, I'm about to cut this off, end it for the night. Once again, Stoopidshadow. He was my play-by-play. He was my color caster. Me, MannyOrSonny, I was a play-by-play caster. And I just want everyone who tuned in, I want you to eat everything in your power to stay beautiful. I'm signing off.